There isn't a day without a massive fundraising announcement. While this is great for the ecosystem and certainly a great milestone in every startup journey, it doesn't really mean success. After all, many, if not most, funded startups will eventually fail, either because they run out of money and then have to shut down, or simply because they never really grow beyond a certain point. There are many common reasons for that. An ever-changing strategy or lack of strategy and vision, lack of mentorship, lack of leadership, employee turnover, which is hurting your brand image and your productivity, revenue hitting a plateau or a ceiling, and then obviously running out of money. And a lot of SaaS companies can fall into the same traps, but they also have a few things specific to SaaS companies that can lead to failure. I'm Alice Besomi, VP Investment at Jungle Ventures, and today I'm sharing the top reason why SaaS companies will fail. So, you are running a SaaS company and you are getting initial traction and early adopters. Congrats! Now, whatever worked for you in the first few months or years of the business may not work in the future. So you really would have to focus on getting a profitable way of acquiring customers and keeping them happy. But it also means that a lot of your revenue are depending in the future. So you really have to focus on keeping this set of customers happy, engaged, and paying, which is what customer retention or customer churn is really super critical. A number one failure for SaaS companies is underestimating churn and retention and overemphasizing on acquisition. SaaS are great businesses. You enjoy high growth margin, predictable, repeatable revenue, and an active base of users. So long as you provide value, they will keep on buying and paying each and every month. But at the same time, it means focusing on retention is extremely critical. Whatever got you to a set of early adopters and initial traction may not work in the future and in order to scale. One of the top reasons for SaaS to fail is simply to focus only on acquisition and forget about retention and expansion. There will be days where, irrespective of the amount of marketing you spend, your revenue will start hitting a plateau just because you cannot stop customer to churn. So one of the main problems is really when logo churn and revenue churn is hitting all of your efforts in terms of marketing and acquisition. There will be elements of churn that you cannot control, onboarding the wrong set of customers or customers running out of business. But there are elements that you can control and you should prevent. Lack of customer support, poor customer experience, a set of features that is missing, or a poor onboarding. All of these elements, you can really act on that. So what you should do is first try to understand where the problem comes from and how you can prevent. So double click on retention after 2 weeks, 1 month, 3 months. Do follow-up emails and exit surveys to understand why people leave. Try to focus on getting an upper limit of 2% monthly logo churn and ideally no more than 7% annual, which is tough, but still, that's the key. If you can go for more annual subscription, then try to do that as well, as it's proven that subscription longer than 1 month have over 30% better revenue retention than monthly plans. So we spoke about retention. Expansion is really the number 2 key things to track. Some things to keep in mind. Your customer acquisition cost is usually much higher than cost of retention. And upselling will also bring a lot more stickiness, either because you sell to more team members within an organization or because you are at the user level, you are adding more value and capturing more of their workflow. So intuitively, upselling as opposed to downgrade or churn means happy customers, and happy customers means referral and word of mouth, which in turn will bring more new customers, which really makes focusing on getting negative revenue churn extremely critical. By negative revenue churn, we actually means that the revenue you're getting from existing clients is really higher than the lost revenue from your downgrades and cancellations. So what you should do, tracking expansion revenue separately so you can really identify these. Aim for 20 or 30% of your monthly recurring revenue coming from these upsell revenue. And then look again at your pricing policy, and when possible, go for usage-based pricing like per transaction or storage capacity, which will have kind of no-brainer upsell within their by design. Can you find a scalable way to acquire user? And by asking that question, a lot of times SaaS companies would actually realize they overinvest in paid marketing and minimize referrals. If you rely on paid marketing as the main driver for new signups, then that should raise flags. The reason for that is that as soon as you turn off the tap, new customers will simply disappear. So combined with the previous problem of poor retention or limited upsell and expansion, then you really run towards disappearing revenue. So existing customers are your best advocates. By designing a proper referral program with adequate budget for that, you can engage and reward your existing customers while you are adding more engaged customers from day one. More often than not, this goes with also the problem of improper way of calculating your customer acquisition cost. Really understanding how much you pay for each channel. Avoiding blended CAC averages is really super critical. So remember, things you should really try to do. No average, no blended CAC. Always double click on churn data, customer acquisition cost data, by cohorts, by channel, by type of plans. This will really help you get a more granular view of your power users and the rest of your users. It will also help you identify your real ICP and focus on profitable customers, focus on them, reduce the pain for them to adopt your software, and kind of really grow that into a daily habit. Think of how you can add more value to them and maximize the value they are already bringing to you. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, please hit the like and subscribe button, comment with your thoughts and questions. I would love to read your feedback on what else we can bring to you. Thanks for watching.